Please stay tuned after this Trailside program for an exciting free gift offer and valuable information on the Trailside Nature Club.
Australians call their country Oz. Maybe it's because there's something magical about it. Here in the Outback, it's real clear why. This is a land driven by extremes, a vast continent that for eons has been worked by water and wind. Hi, I'm Peter Whitaker. Join me as we mountain bike through Australia's Outback all the way to Ayers Rock as we make our own adventure on Trailside.
Trailside is brought to you in part by Chevy Blazer. Next time you're having fun outdoors, make sure Mother Nature has a good day too.
Welcome to the Outback. We're here in the Northern Territory, which many people consider to be the quintessential Australia. Roughly twice the size of Texas, this area has a population of only 160,000 people. There's no shortage of elbow room here. We'll be exploring the Outback's dramatic terrain of mountains and deserts on a new form of transportation. It's a far cry from the old days when settlers used wheelbarrows and camels. We'll be going on mountain bikes with Scott McConnell, who grew up on a nearby cattle ranch and has mountain biked virtually every trail around here. Hey Scott, how you doing?
Good, pleased to meet you, Pete.
Likewise. So you ready for this adventure?
Certainly am.
Now, you know where we're headed, right? You've done a fair amount of biking around this area?
Yeah, certainly. I've been biking around these hills for 10 years now.
And you were a park ranger as well?
Yeah, I worked on quite a few national parks around Alice Springs, also for around about 10 years. A lot of those parks we're going to visit on our little journey.
Excellent. My own personal tour guide. I love it. So tell me about your bike. That thing looks heavy duty.
Yeah, we've got a few fairly serious things on it. If you start with looking at this Wilderness Trails front tyre, it's a pretty chunky looking thing. It's a fairly serious mountain biking tyre.
I guess.
And we really need it for the sort of terrain we're going through.
Big knobbers.
Yeah, sort of a touring tyre wouldn't be much good to us.
Those shocks look heavy duty as well.
Yeah, we've got suspension fork here. I actually adjust them up all the way to make them a little more rigid, to make up for the sort of extra weight that we've got here with our touring kit.
Your pedal doesn't have a clip on it. Is that for a reason?
Yeah, I actually use a clipless pedal. If you look at the bottom of my shoe, you can see there's a metal cleat in the bottom of it. Well, that attaches directly to the pedal.
For better power?
Yeah, really efficient pedaling. But the setup that you've got, toe clips, is quite adequate for what we're doing.
Okay, I'll be all right in just these regular shoes.
No worries at all.
Good. And I've got all the personal gear packed. It seemed like we're a little bit light.
Yeah, we are light on. We don't have a lot of stuff. We're able to resupply because there's a few places we can along the way, resupply water and food. So we don't really need to keep too much gear on. We want to keep the bikes light. It's a pretty serious trail.
Okay, I know my panniers are pretty much filled up. You got any room left in yours?
No, I think I've got very little room left actually, yeah.
Okay. Sleeping bag I've got. You said not to bring a sleeping pad. You didn't sneak one in on me now, did you?
No, I didn't. I can assure you, you'll be quite comfortable without a sleeping pad. We're actually probably be camping just under the stars, which is a great way to experience Central Australia, in a nice soft riverbed, so I can assure you you'll be comfortable.
All right, that sounds good. I can't think of anything. Actually, a repair kit. You got one of those?
Repair kit's very important. We are travelling in the Outback after all, and probably the most important part of our extensive repair kit is this pump. We're very likely to get a flat tyre, so we need a good quality pump and we need an extensive patch kit, which I have.
Good. Should we head on out of here?
Yeah, I think we should hit it, eh?
By the way, where are we going?
Well, we might just head to the edge of town and take it from there, eh?
Okay. Good warm-up ride from Alice Springs, Scott, and excellent map here. Show me where we're headed.
Okay, our trip is going to take us about 300 miles. We'll be heading along some sealed bike paths to Simpsons Gap.
Now, what's a sealed path?
I think you guys call it pavement.
Okay.
From there, we're heading along up some steep climbs, again on sealed road, and descending into Ormiston Gorge. From Ormiston Gorge, we travel across the ancient Fink River, up this nice little rise here, through some excellent scenery there. Then we descend down through some really tight turns, really technical stuff, and you never know, you might even just lose it there.
Dig it, huh?
From there, if we're still alive, we'll be heading along and descending down through Tyler's Pass in the McDonnell Ranges here.
Great.
Excellent downhill riding there, really high speeds and some top things to look at while we're there.
Good.
Including Goss's Bluff that we've got here, which is actually a comet crater, 130 million years old.
Wow.
So after we've gone from there, we'll be heading down to Palm Valley and meeting the Fink River again that we saw earlier on.
Uh-huh.
We'll be descending down through the Fink River, and that's where our most technical bit of the ride will be. Really, really quite difficult around here. We've got deep sand, etc. And then we'll be heading along through some very typical desert country down to Ayers Rock.
Okay, and you said about 300 miles, so how many nights out do you figure?
I reckon we should be able to do it in about 6 days. So about 5 nights camped under the stars should see us through.
So Scott, who's going to carry this map?
Well, I think you can do that, and while you're at it, you can carry the pointer.
Okay.
Pete, you look to be doing a little hard there.
Yeah, I think probably in a gear that's a bit high.
Yeah, I'd drop a couple.
There you go, that feels better. Much easier on the knees.
Yeah, that looks a lot better too. It's important, we've got 300 miles ahead of us. It's important that we conserve our energy and keep our knees feeling good. So we need to keep our cadence up. The old saying is, spinners are winners.
It's nice to be off the pavement.
It certainly is. It's great to be on some real dirt road. A few less cars too, which is great. Okay, just a bit of a hint on these corrugations, Pete. It's pretty important to keep your arms loose so your arms don't pump up on the bounces, and also support a bit of weight through your legs so your ear doesn't get too much of a hide.
Absorb the shock.
Definitely.
So Scott, how many miles do you figure we've covered?
We've done about probably 85 kilometres.
That's been a good day.
Yeah, we don't need to rush to the top of this hill. Just stay loose and keep your rear in the saddle and just keep moving up this hill.
Boy, I tell you, this place is unbelievable.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a pretty important place to the local Aboriginals. They've been visiting for probably about 20,000 years.
Really, it feels powerful in
Yeah,
here.
it certainly does.
So we have time for a break, put some water down and grab a little snack.
Yeah, certainly. I think we've done a few hard miles, so I think we should have a nice break now.
I tell you, that uphill section, where'd you get that energy? You were burning up that.
Just conserve your energy for the right places, and I knew we were about to have a break, so go for it.
I didn't know you had a turbo speed on that bike. You were flying. What's that red rock over there?
Yeah, it's a bit of a different looking mountain range, isn't it? That's actually Goss's Bluff, the comet crater that I referred to earlier.
Wow, how long ago did it hit?
They reckon it hit about 130 million years ago, and quite hard too. They reckon the impact was about 300,000 times that of the Hiroshima bomb.
Whew. Whew, packed a big punch. I'm glad we weren't standing right here when it hit, huh?
No, here would have been pretty bad, but apparently it was felt right around the world.
Unbelievable. Hey, what's the next section?
Next section's actually a bit of a gnarly downhill, mate.
You should take a look at my front brake. It feels really soft. I mean, I'm all the way to the grip.
Oh, that doesn't look any good. We'll just get your bar bag off. Okay, I think what's happened is your cable's stretched, so we might just adjust the slack out of that. So we just undo the lock nut here, and then we just screw the barrel out so that we get some slack out of the cable.
Take up some of that slack, huh?
Yeah. That looks a bit better. Have a feel of that.
Oh yeah, great. That's good.
All right, while we're at it, since we've got a downhill coming up, we might just have a look at your front brakes. Sometimes your brake pads can sort of glaze up a bit, so yeah, look at that, that's really smooth.
What do you do about that?
We'll just take this bit of sandpaper and give it a bit of a rough up, which will give it much better contact with the rim. So just a quick rub. We don't want too much. We don't want to wear the whole pad away.
Just rough it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a bit different.
That feels a lot better.
Give me a little more grip on the downhill.
Yep, certainly.
So Scott, you're starting to scare me a little bit, paying all this attention to my brakes. What's this downhill like?
You're about to find out, mate. You're about to find out. Okay, just before we hit this downhill section, normally you're looking at about 70% or even more of your braking coming from the front brake, but this is pretty rocky here, so we need to be fairly careful on the front brake. I'd rely a little more on the rear.
Right behind you. All right.
That wasn't bad, was it?
No, I'm still up.
Just a bit more on technique. It's probably worth sticking with your butt out of the saddle a little and just a nice bit of suspension through your knees. It's
okay.
A lot easier to control the bike and a lot easier on your body.
Yeah, it's rough back there, so a little more absorbing of the shock with the arms.
Yeah, it works well.
Should we do it?
Let's hit it.
All right.
There's some great single track over there. Let's ditch the panniers and hit it.
Scott, this looks a bit rough through here. Any suggestions?
Yeah, I would just stick to the rear brake only, and it's all about planning ahead. And try not to hit any rocks.
Okay. All right, nice ride.
Not bad, and this is Glen Helen Gorge.
Well, what are we waiting for?
No way, too cold for us desert blokes. You do it. Here we are, Pete. We're in the most spectacular part of Finke Gorge National Park.
Boy, these formations are magical. Is this sandstone?
Yeah, certainly. This is sandstone. It's some of the oldest landforms in the world. All this was formed when Central Australia was under an inland sea.
Once that sun goes down, the temperature really drops.
Yeah, it certainly does. It'll probably get down to something like freezing tonight, I'd say.
You stiff at all?
No, not really. I'm sort of pretty used to this sort of riding.
My butt's killing me. What did we cover today?
Probably around about 100 kilometres, I'd say.
Didn't really see too much in the way of wildlife.
No, most wildlife in Australia tends to be nocturnal. Actually, I was camped not far from here a couple of years back, and I get up and I'm having my first cup of tea, and I look back towards my bedroll and I notice that it's still moving long after I'd left it. So I go over there and have a bit of a look, taking all the required precautions. And I fold the flat back and I find a 4.5-foot king brown snake.
You're kidding. Those are poisonous, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're actually Australia's second most venomous snake, so I was a lucky lad.
Well, we're not in any risk here at this campsite, are we?
Oh, you never know. We could be.
Well, I'm planning on sleeping alone tonight.
I hope that plan doesn't change.
Surviving the Outback is serious business. Before we headed out, I met one man who knows how to make it back, in one piece. Ian Blevin is a naturalist who for years has been taking groups into the Outback. His work, as he describes it, is to unfold the envelope of the outdoors. As a captain in the Gurkhas, a unit in the British Army specializing in jungle warfare, Ian has traveled the globe from the Himalayas to Borneo on all types of adventures. Oh, hey Ian.
How you going, Peter?
Suppose I'm out here separated from my equipment. Can I survive?
Well, Peter, the first thing we've got to do is work out our location. Can we walk out of here, or do we need to survive out here? And if we're going to walk out of here, well, we need to walk in the early hours of the morning or in the evening to minimize energy loss.
I bet. It's hot in the middle of the day.
Yep, and if we have to survive out of here, well, there are 3 important survival issues: water, food, and shelter. And if you come on over here, I'll show you a bush fruit that gives you both food and water. Peter, what you got there is a gall on the bloodwood tree. The gall is where a little grub has crawled in and starts to develop in there and causes this growth.
And this is a source of food moisture?
Yep, we crack it open and we get out some of these little maggots.
Maggots?
Yep.
Give those a try.
And they're full of protein. And then we try a little bit of this coconut, which is full of carbohydrate.
To wash the maggots down?
Yep, that's the way. And then the best little bit at all is this fat little grub, which is full of both protein and moisture.
The little worm. You sure?
Yep. What's it taste like? Good? And that's one of the ways we can survive out here, by eating these fruits. Peter, one of the most important things is to build a shelter to protect ourselves from the elements. And I've started to build a traditional shelter that's been used for thousands of years out here. We call it a wiltshire. They're easy to build because we build them out of these witchetty bushes and mulga bushes, which are very easy to obtain out here. You don't even need a knife to build them. You snap off the limbs and just lay them on, or take them off depending on how much insulation you want.
So that's going to give you some shade from the heat of the day, huh?
Yeah, during the heat of the day you get dappled shade, and you still get a breeze coming through, which keeps the heat away from you. And at night they help to break that cold wind and to keep the cold out.
You can already feel it. I mean, the temperature has increased here a few degrees. It's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Hey, do you have any more of those grubs? Those are pretty good.
No, but I've got a bush banana for you here.
Beauty. Let's give it a try.
Okay, Pete, could I have a hand over here for a minute?
You bet. What's up, Scott?
We're just going to do our morning check on the bike. And a bit of maintenance is really important. It's our only form of transport here in the Outback, so we need to be looking after it. Okay, we'll start with the chain. If I can just get you to spin the pedals backwards.
What's that do?
Looking good. Well, we're just cleaning the crud off the chain. We've been through a bit of sandy stuff, so pretty important. Okay, looking good. Okay, I'm going to use a dry lubricant on the chain here because we don't want anything sticking to the excess oil. So I'll stick this on if I can get you to spin again. Looking good, looking good. Okay, that'll do. Okay, while we're down here, we'll have a look at our gear cable as well. I'll just pull this out. There we go. We'll just wipe the oil and crud off the cable here. And then we'll just add a bit of just conventional oil here will do. Just a little tiny bit. See, I've just got a bit on my fingers there.
Keep the cable sliding a little easier.
Yeah, keep the gears feeling good. Okay, that's that bit of it done. Okay, we'll also need to have a look at our tyre pressures. Have a look at our racks, make sure they're nice and firm. Have a look at our steering head bearings. And also we need to check that our wheel's true. We're in a fairly sensitive area here, Peter.
Mountain biking's pretty low impact though, huh?
Yeah, it certainly is, but we still need to keep in mind we've got to be friendly to the environment and tread lightly. Here we are, Pete. Here's that 30 k's of sand we've been looking forward to.
How long is it?
30 kilometres.
18 miles?
Certainly is.
Is there any way around it?
No, we just have to go through it. The only thing we can do is let a bit of air out of our tyres and a couple of hints on technique. High cadence, low gear, and whatever you do, don't stop.
All right, lead on. This is a nice leisurely ride.
Very leisurely.
You sure we're on the right trail?
I hope so.
Hey, there it is. There's rock.
Yeah, that's it, all right. We prefer to call it Uluru these days, using the traditional Aboriginal name for it.
Uluru? What does that mean?
It doesn't have a direct translation, but it sort of means like meeting place.
Boy, it sure stands up. Completely different than the rest of the landscape.
Yeah, it certainly looks a lot different, doesn't it? We're only seeing a little bit of it too. They reckon that only about a third of it exposed out of the ground, so she must be one big rock all up.
Just like an iceberg.
Just like an iceberg, yeah, it's floating in the desert.
Boy, it looks to me like there'd be some good climbing on this rock.
Yeah, there probably would be, but unfortunately we can't climb it. The local Aboriginal people have asked that we don't climb on the rock.
Well, you have to respect that. I can understand it.
Yeah, certainly. I don't mind respecting it. I think it's great to be here. Pete, the trip's not over yet. From here we're going to head to Katajuta.
Really? There's more?
Certainly is. Katajuta is pretty amazing. It's a collection of 30 dome rocks on a similar scale to Uluru. Unreal.
Sounds good. I'll be right there, Scott. Much of Australia's outback remains as wild and untamed as it has been for eons. For those that can find their way out here, mountain biking is a rewarding, challenging, and low-impact way to experience it. Next week, we're headed east to Australia's Great Barrier Reef to do a little sea kayaking along the coast. So we'll see you on the next Trailside.
Available now, the complete series of Trailside illustrated guides, hiking and backpacking, bicycling, kayaking, cross-country skiing, and fly fishing. To purchase, call 1-800-TRAILSIDE, 1-800-872-4574.
We're in a fairly sensitive area here, Peter.
Mountain biking's pretty low impact though, huh?
Yeah, it certainly is, but we still need to keep in mind we've got to be friendly to the environment and tread lightly. Oh, this is nice, a bit of a downhill. Makes a change after that climb.
The home video of this program, as well as other programs in the Trailside series, is available for $19.98 plus shipping and handling by calling 1-800-TRAILSIDE, 1-800-872-4574. Trailside is brought to you in part by Chevy Blazer. Next time you're having fun outdoors, make sure Mother Nature has a good day too.
Feller, where are you headed?
New Jersey!
Chevy Blazer, the only sport utility vehicle with a driver control system. It's nice to know it's there.
Trailside, the longest-running outdoor how-to television series, invites you to join the new Trailside Nature Club. Call the number on your screen and join today, and you'll receive a free Trailside guide or an award-winning video. Call now and receive a full-year subscription to the outdoor magazine of your choice. Up to 50% savings at over 1,400 hotels, airline discount coupons, discounts on gear and gear repair, and much, much more. The Trailside Nature Club. Become a member today.